going to talk about the types of insurances that are in the marketplace, because it can get pretty convoluted, and there's a lot of different strategies using different vehicles, and like to keep things simple so people can understand, because although I'm a huge believer that everybody should have a form of insurance, the type of insurance is important, because there's people that it's not appropriate for some people. So there's three types of insurance. Life insurance. When I say insurance, I mean life insurance, not property and casualty. I'm not licensed in that area. So for life insurance, there's generally three that we use. Now, the first one is term insurance. Term insurance is the most popular insurance out of the three. Now, term insurance is generally, there's exceptions, but for the most part, is all about death benefit. If you pass away, somebody gets money. Now, term insurance conveniently has terms that it's active and available. So, for instance, if you purchase a 10-year term, if you pass away in those 10 years, the insurance company is going to pay out to somebody of your choosing. Now, although term insurance appears inexpensive in many cases, sometimes not, but in many cases it's inexpensive. That's the cash cow for the insurance company. That's where they make most of their money. Now, think about it. Let's say you step into my office and you're 30 years old and you say, Kyle, I need a term insurance policy and I want a 10-year term. I'll be like, okay, what do you think the chances are that 30-year-old passes away before 40? Slim to none, right? So he's going to pay in those premiums. Premium is another word for payment. And almost 100%, it's like 97, 98% of the time, term contracts do not execute. So the insurance company takes the money in from a lot of people for a long time. And the few people that actually do pass away, they'll get paid. But you generally put the money in and you don't get it back. Now, moving on from term insurance. Permanent insurance. And there's two types of permanent insurance that we use. Now, the first type of permanent insurance is whole life. A lot of people, it's a very popular product strategy. You may have heard of it. Now, whole life is paid off dividends, and it's about guarantees. Like, for example, let's say it guarantees you a rate of return of, I'm going to make up a number here, 4%. Generally, the policy will outperform inflation over the long term, but you don't have to worry about the market in those policies because your rate is guaranteed. So the market could go negative 40%, you're getting 4%. It could go plus 40%, you're getting 4%. For people that don't want risk, that's a good option for them. Now, not for everybody. So whole life, the person that whole life was made for is somebody walking in and saying they want to plan their legacy. Legacy meaning generational wealth, leaving money to wife, husband, kids, grandkids, niece, nephew. So that's a strategy, that's a product that we will show people, because for the people that want guarantees, that's a great option for them. Now, the third type, which is another form of permanent insurance, is universal. Now, universal is not paid off dividends. It follows an index, the S&P 500, and it works with a floor and a cap. So you don't have to worry about losing money because of the 0% floor. 0% floor means if you have $1 million in that policy and the stock market crashes 40%, you don't lose any money. Now, that sounds great. Who wouldn't want a 0% floor? You can never lose. Well, there's a cost to that zero floor, and that's the cap. That means your gains are going to be capped up to a certain percentage point. Now, when you're looking at the law of large numbers and the average returns, and they do very well, but some people have a hard time stomaching if the market's up 20% and they're only going to get, 10 odd percent. They're like, oh man, I'm losing. I should be making more than that. So, again, 3 types of insurance, 3 different kinds of clients. And it's the job of the advisor or the insurance agent, whoever you're working with, to help line you up with the right one. And that's a little bit about what I do on the advisory role is I line people up for the correct life insurance plan for them. So, overview. Term insurance, all it is death benefit for the most part. Whole life pays off dividends and for legacy planning. Universal, I missed a big part of universal. I'll go over it right now. Universal is made for somebody that wants to grow money in the market. They want to avoid capital gains. They want to avoid income tax. And they want to have access to it whenever they want. So if they need cash for something, they can go into the policy and pull it out anytime. So all three are good in the right scenarios. There is times where they're bad because maybe the person that is selling the policy is trying to push a specific product for some reason. And, well, that's no good. You don't want to work with somebody like that, but, you want to work with somebody that helps set you up with the right strategy, the right vehicle. So term insurance, whole life, universal.